The rates are actually not 7%. I could do 5.5 on a 30-year. I could do a 4.5 on a 15-year.
What stops someone from owning a home?
Or the misconception that they need cash when they could get zero down. People think that it's hot when the rates are low. I think it's hot when the rates are high. Because would you rather sell bread when everybody's selling bread out there? Or would you rather be the only motherfucker selling bread in the neighborhood? Why does Donald Trump have mortgages?
Explain that to people, because a lot of people think they should pay off all their debt.
Yeah, so...
What it is, Brad Lee, back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs. Today in the studio, folks. As always, I got a real treat for you. Ali Charafeddine is in the house. What's up, Ace?
What's up, my baby?
Folks, if you guys don't know this dude, you can follow him, obviously, on social media under the Acez Academy. That's with a Z where the S should go. Mm-hmm. Again, very confusing. Yeah. Told you that. But Acez Academy, you can look him up, dude. He's like in the mortgage world mainly, but dude, you're building a little sales training empire, and you're hitting all kinds of places. So today, I want you to help the Bomb Squad understand some basics about sales, so people can make more money after this episode. Sound good?
100%.
Let's test your knowledge, because you've been doing it for a while. You started out like what, hustling, New York?
I started out in distribution sales, business to business, gas station to gas station.
How old were you?
I was 17 when I started.
And you've been hustling ever since?
I've been selling ever since, yeah. I'm leading now and training and consulting.
Well, you just started doing that not too long ago, yeah? 5-10 years?
Yeah, consulting's been the last 5 years.
So where'd you get your start, and what can people do, businesses, to make more money in sales?
They could find something that they're passionate about selling and then sell the shit out of it, because if they believe in it, then they can make others believe in it too.
So find something they're passionate about.
Yeah, because a lot of salespeople sell stuff that they're not passionate about, and then they're just working for a check, and then they don't sound enthusiastic because they're not enthusiastic about what they sell.
How do you get enthusiastic about a mortgage?
You learn that it's not about a mortgage. It's about cash. It's about dreams. It's about what the mortgage does for you.
I just want to refinance my house, bro.
Yeah, for what? Are you trying to save money monthly, or you're trying to take cash out?
Lower my payment.
Lower your payment. And
I got suckered in, and now the rates are dropping.
Gotcha. Well, we'll definitely get you a lower rate.
You only date the rate.
Yeah, assuming we get you a lower interest rate, we save you some money monthly. What do you plan on doing with the savings?
Haven't figured that out.
Got it. Well, let's figure it out together here. Let's say we're saving $500-600 a month, an extra $7,000 a year.
What would I do with it?
Yeah, what does that look like to you?
So you're basically painting a picture and walking them through the future pacing?
Yeah, you're finding the pain and the pleasure. Same way you motivate people, right? You're motivating clients. I mean, I always say sales is the number one thing to make money. And then the trifecta of sales is selling cash. What better could you sell than cash instead of life? But you're not God, so you can't sell life. You could sell health, right? Better health, but you can't sell life. So I think cash is the number one seller.
What background are you? What's your nationality or heritage?
Lebanese.
Were you born and raised in the U.S.?
I came from Dubai when I was less than a year old.
So essentially, you were born and raised here.
Yes, sir.
But is your family all Lebanese? And
yeah,
because I always find my ex-wife was Egyptian, mm-hmm. and her brothers and all her relatives and a lot of the Arabs that I know, they're just constant freaking negotiators. Like, is that something that's born into the heritage?
Yeah, I think the hustle is born into the heritage.
Yeah, I mean, they had ice cream trucks, and you know,
I did the ice cream truck.
Yeah, I mean, they were hustlers automatically, hardworking hustlers. Is that an Arab thing?
That is like, so Michigan, where I'm from, Dearborn is like the Arab capital. So like the ice cream trucks there are not normal ice cream trucks. They're like, they got bouncers on them and sound systems and slushies and nachos. And like each guy is trying to beat the next guy and pimp their truck a little more. So even they took the ice cream business to a whole nother level.
So if I'm an entrepreneur listening to this, okay, I want to know some secrets that most people are walking past where I can institute into my organization and make more money than I was before listening to you.
Yeah.
Come on, Ace, give him some freaking gold.
Are we talking to leaders or salespeople?
And by the way, guys, you know, he's got, you know, major companies paying him to come train their leaders and salespeople. So even though, you know, he seems very demure, you're from what I hear, you're a killer.
Born and raised.
You get on the phones and just close deals.
Yeah.
What's the most you've made personally from sales?
Around $1 million.
In the year?
Yeah.
And is that in mortgages?
Yeah. And that's also not full time. That's like doing 3 things at once.
So what was it? Rocket Mortgage or something?
Yeah. I was at Rocket Mortgage for 8 years. And then
how'd you fall into the mortgage space? I always wonder why mortgages? Because I know at one time that was kind of hot because interest rates were so low and it was like easy as hell to get people to borrow money, and you get paid in the mortgage game to loan money, basically.
Well, I think that's the wrong perspective, right? People think that it's hot when the rates are low. I think it's hot when the rates are high. So I tell people it's the hottest market right now, because would you rather sell bread when everybody's selling bread out there and there's an influx of bread? Or would you rather be the only motherfucker selling bread in the neighborhood? You want to be the only one selling bread in the neighborhood. What is bread? Bread right now is cash. Nobody has cash. The average American's struggling. Do they need a loan now? Do they need a loan when things are great and the stock market's heavy and 299s are out? No, everyone got money back then. 2020 was a great year. So I think right now is when you sell with purpose, because people are struggling and they need it.
Okay. So that's just a different perspective that you have?
Yeah, I do better when the market's high, because that's for the killers that understand the value of cash and the value of people needing help. You want to sell when people need help, not when people have all the help in the world.
Well, if I have a 2.9 on my house or my home loan, right?
Yeah.
Why would I borrow 7% from you?
Well, that really depends. How much you have in assets? How many kids do you have? Do you have college funds for them? How do your credit card debts look? How are you living? Like, you could have a 2.99%, but you're working overtime. You're not happy. You got nothing in the bank as a security cushion. Then what's more important, Brad? Having a 2.99 and going to sleep and saying, "Yay, I got a 2.99," or having $50,000 cash in the bank, having your debts paid off, saving $700 a month, taking your kids on vacation, taking your wife to dinner who's been nagging you for the last 2 weeks that all you do is work.
Yeah, but at 7% interest, why would I take that money? Why wouldn't I just get a little bit extra time and save it up? Why would I pay 7% interest if I'm paying 2 now?
Because you're struggling right now. The people that need...
Well, you said something about credit cards, which is where I was trying to get you to go. Credit cards, guys, listen to this. So let's say you have, credit card debt because, times were tough. You whacked up your credit cards, or your wife's like mine and she lives on them. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, that's why you would borrow at 7%. Because a lot of people think they're just going to borrow for a house.
No.
Well, again, you can borrow and then pay off credit cards that are 21%. Yeah. And that's a smart move. So if you have equity in your home and, right now rates are 7%, you still borrow it, go pay off higher interest loans. So now those balances are paid off. You just made money and you just saved money, the difference. And then when the rates drop, you can always
refinance it again.
Yeah. So you date the rate, right?
Yeah. The average American refinances every couple of years. The rates are actually not 7%. I could do 5.5 on a 30-year.
That's getting pretty decent.
I could do a 4.5 on a 15-year. So you could get pretty competitive as a broker when you're controlling your own margin. And every $100,000 on 30 years costs about $600 a month. Every $100,000 on credit card debt costs about $1,500 to $2,000 a month. So you're looking at $1,000 savings for knocking out $100,000 worth of credit card debts or personal loans or car loans. So yeah, it's not about the rate. It's about freeing up the cash flow, because a lot of people have a great rate, but then they're swamped in credit card debt. Well, what's your effective rate, which is all your debts combined together, and that percentage? That's a lot higher than a 2.99.
What if you don't own a home?
If you don't own a home, and you should.
What stops someone from owning a home?
Usually just credit, or the misconception that they need cash when they could get 0 down on a first-time home buyer. Or
currently?
Or there's down payment assistance programs.
But they have to live in it. And something that you can buy for 0 down isn't going to be very nice.
Why not? It depends. It has nothing to do with 0 down, right? 0 down is just a program. It's about...
Yeah, but they're not going to let you borrow $2 million, $3 million. Well,
that depends on their... So it goes to their income and their credit, right? So if they have enough income to support the payment.
There's a possibility someone can buy a $2 million house with 0 down.
Easy way to look at it is a $2 million house is probably going to have a payment of about $12,000. If you add taxes and insurance to it, it's probably going to be about a $20,000 payment. If you want a $2 million house, you got to make more than double the payment. So you got to make about $45,000 to $50,000 a month to get a $2 million house. So easy way to look at it is you got to make double what the payment is to qualify. A little more than double.
And how hard is it right now to borrow money?
If you have good credit and equity in your home, it's not
hard.
With
no equity.
with no equity in your home, it's hard.
So are people screwed?
Unless you're a veteran. Because you could do 100% financing for veterans. But and then even like there's a lot of people that have a 299 and they're not struggling, Brad, right? They have, 40,000 in the bank. Like they're good. Like California, I'm licensed in California. Like a lot of people there, they have money. They got $600,000 balance on their loan. I'm not going to take their 299 to 7% to give them $100,000 to invest. I get them a home equity line. I have 6 home equity lines. Every single one's at 0. My brother once told me a home equity line is like a loaded gun. Why not have one? Because whenever you need it, it's there and available. So I open up home equity lines for every single house I have, because if you want to invest, you got, more chips to play with.
Yeah, and it doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt at all.
More people need to understand that too. I know a couple that pays their houses off. And they're like, they just sleep better knowing that their houses are paid off. And I'm like, dude, that's in my mind, it's just not smart. Why? Well, ask Dave Ramsey and he'll say, I'm not smart. But to me, it's like, let's say you have $400,000 equity in your house is paid for. Number one, you're still paying taxes. You're still paying HOA fees. You're still paying all the crap you got to pay, insurance, et cetera. So it's never going to be paid off, first of all. Second of all, let's say that there's $400,000 equity you could take right there and go buy another house for $400,000.
You could buy 4 houses.
Yeah, but like, again, now this house is paid off and you owe $400,000 on this one. Well, now you got 2 that you owe $400,000 on.
Yeah. And you're maximizing tax benefits.
It's still, I just borrowed money, or I just leveraged the bank's money to get another asset.
Yeah. Why does Donald Trump have mortgages?
Yeah. So explain that to people, because a lot of people think they should like pay off all their debt.
Yeah. So if I have one house and let's say I have $500,000 of equity in that house, instead of just saying, I'm going to pay off this house and I'm going to save a $4,000 mortgage payment every single month, why not take the $500,000 and buy 5 houses and put $100 down on every single house, in which I could buy a $500,000 house, 5 $500,000 houses. Then I get a renter who's paying my mortgage off and probably paying me a little extra on top of paying the mortgage off. And then I'm maximizing my tax benefits for all of those houses. Every time I fly to Florida, I'm flying to go see that house. Every single time the lawn gets mowed, that's an expense, right? So every expense for all those houses and all the traveling you do to those houses and the phone calls you take is all expense. So now, and 20 years from now, you got 5 houses free and clear instead of just 1 house free and clear with you saving $4,000 a month. You'll be making about $50,000 in rent every single month and retire off that money. So you're going to take the real estate path instead of taking the free and clear path and just saying, I want no debts at all and I want to sleep well. Well, would you rather sleep well with no debts, or would you rather sleep well with 10 houses?
As long as I sleep well.
And then those 10 houses is liquidity whenever you need it. So like, why not keep investing, right? Because
I want to get a panel show together and start bringing in opposing views and talk, because again, there's a lot of people that are confused. They're with the Dave Ramsey theory of debt's no good, period, which I disagree with. But Dave Ramsey has hundreds of millions of dollars. Whatever he's doing is working. But it's not from saving, by the way. It's from selling people content about getting out of debt. Because apparently, there's a lot of people that have applied what he teaches and they've gotten out of debt, and now they're less pressure. Me, dude, load me up with debt. Like, you got someone that'll loan me $1 billion, I'll take it. As long as the terms are reasonable and I can take the $1 billion and do something with it that pays for itself. In other words, I like to arbitrage.
Yeah.
You give me money at 17%, no problem. I'll take it as long as I can get 27%.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense because you're a smart guy and you know what to do with the money, right?
Well, no, I mean, not as well as I should, but I'm starting to learn, businesses, believe it or not. I think that's currently a better cash flow position than a piece of real estate.
Right now, probably, if it's a good business.
Well, dude, I mean, you buy a $400,000 house. What's it make you every month in cash flow? A couple $100?
It depends on the area. There's some good areas out there.
Roughly a couple $100.
Yeah, a couple $100 on top of somebody paying the rent for you and building the equity in the house for you. So that's the one thing that, like, I have 2 investments in Florida. They're both on 15-year mortgages. I have like 7 years left on each of them, and somebody's paying them off for me in Florida, So sure, sometimes they're vacant and sometimes I got to pay the mortgage for them. But
yeah, but look at the cash flow. Cash flow. If you buy a $400,000 house.
Yeah.
And let's say you put 10% down, right? $40,000.
Yeah.
And you look at the cash flow, it's going to be $150, $200 a month. That's it.
It's not for cash flow. It's long term.
I know, but well, again, yeah. And for taxes and et cetera. But my point is for cash flow, because cash flow is what you want. I don't want real estate, dude. I want cash flow.
Yeah.
I want cash flow. I don't know about you, but I am looking for cash flow.
Then you flip. You buy a piece of land.
No, you buy businesses.
Yeah, well, business as well. If it's a good business, I mean.
Business is a better buy than real estate now. Now, long term, I think obviously, you buy real estate. So you buy the business for the cash flow, take the cash flow, buy the real estate. But don't buy real estate for cash flow. It doesn't make sense.
Correct. But you got to know how to operate a business, right? So what's the business going to be like?
You don't have to operate a business. All you have to do is buy one that's operating. Like why? Because you buy this business, is it going to stop operating?
I don't know.
The money goes from me to you now. That's all. That's all it does. If you don't screw up the business should continue to operate.
No, for sure. But there's bad investments. I bought a franchise coffee shop and I lost my ass on it. Well, I thought it's going to operate itself because it's a franchise model. Yeah,
but again, so you're wearing you're scared now.
I'm not scared.
I bought a house once and lost my ass.
No, I'm not scared at all. I wasn't passionate about coffee. I wasn't passionate about the restaurant. I feel like I need to be more involved and passionate about something that I invest in. Or something that I know, like I know mortgages. I opened up a brokerage, is doing great, right?
Well, that's what I want to talk about to keep it focused on you, because otherwise, me and you would debate this, which I think's fun.
Yeah,
especially with Arabs.
Yeah,
they're the best at arguing ever.
Yeah,
my wife was the best.
I'm not a big arguer, but yeah,
she was. And her brother's like, if I bought something, would you pay for that? I don't care if I stole it. They'll be like, dude, you paid too much.
Yeah,
I can get that for less.
Yeah.
But hey, man, just like the Israelis at the kiosks at the mall, dude, I don't know who trains them, but they're good.
Oh yeah. That was my biggest competition in the accessory business.
Dude, I don't know what it is with the Israelis. If I hear the Israeli accent at one of those kiosks, I'm like, dude, you're screwed. You're about to buy something.
Yeah.
They're good, bro. Who do you think trains them?
I couldn't tell you.
Because folks, Ace trains a lot of these mortgage people, loan brokers. Who else do you train?
Yeah, so I train, lightly in solar and life insurance. Majority of my business comes from mortgages because that's what I do. But like I told you before, sales and leadership is universal. I think you could take the same philosophies and apply them anywhere.
You can. So folks, if you're listening and you see Mastering Mortgage World, and he's definitely heavy in the mortgage training space with all the mortgage brokers and loan officers out there. But theoretically, you have training for anyone who wants to grow their business and or you're in sales and you want to grow your income.
Yeah. So I have sales training available. I have leadership training to build a championship culture. And then we're launching Mastering the Mortgage World July 7th, which this is a whole nother beast. This is not even, I wouldn't even call it a course. I'd call it a blueprint, a genie that you have at your desk. I'd call it a mortgage AI, but AI has never closed thousands of deals we have. So it's made almost like an encyclopedia, same way the VT is set up, where you just search what you're looking for and you find it right away. You got an objection, you type in objection call clip pops up, objection script pops up, objection email and text pop up. So we're going to arm everybody with everything, my blueprint that I take to these companies to train them. I'm giving it all in here. And so many people are telling me, why are you giving it all away? Because I want mortgage people to have every single tactic and strategy that works and be left with no excuses. It's a money back guarantee. There's no excuses. If you apply the stuff inside of here, inside of this VT that's dropping, you have every single answer that you possibly need, and you have it at your fingertips anytime that you need it.
How many people that aren't in the mortgage world could easily pick this up, have you train them, and go make a couple $100,000 a year in mortgage business?
All right. So cool story. I had a friend has been growing weed for a while, and he just joined me. You got to pass the safe test to get in mortgages with a 75%. It's more of a difficult test. I failed it the first time at 74. I passed it the second time. This guy failed it 3 times in a row, and he had one more try to take it, and that was it.
You can only do it 4 times?
Yeah, and you got to wait for the 4th. He was in my office training for 90 days in the office, 12 hours a day. And I was looking at him like, just the fact that you're in this office for 12 hours a day, you're going to be successful, dude. I'm telling him, just pass this fucking thing. He ends up passing it. He was my number 1 guy last month on his 2nd month. He's about to make 30, 40 grand in 1 month. in the second month with no mortgage experience at all. So I tell people they want to join my brokerage. It's called Takers Brokerage. You got to go through Mastering the Mortgage World.
It's called Takers?
Yeah, Takers Brokerage.
Why Takers?
It's about taking advantage of the opportunity that you're given every single day, not being someone that waits around for life and says, oh, well, if it's meant to happen, it's going to happen. It's like, no, get up and take fucking advantage of the opportunity and make shit happen. So it's about being a taker.
Instead of a giver?
You could be a giver too.
Sometimes it seems like you didn't think things all the way through.
We're branched off West Capital Lending, and it's funny. So West Capital Lending is a company that I was consulting for the last 2 years. When I started consulting them, they were closing 250 mortgages a month. They're about to close 3,000 mortgages this month. I've been consulting them for 2 years. And I actually opened up a branch with them. They're about to be the #1 brokerage in the country. And I started consulting them when they first started, and I've been with them ever since. And they talked me into opening my own branch with them. And I built their whole VT system. They have a private VT system with private videos for their company. Every single person that comes into their company goes through the VT onboarding.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly updating it. They get their own weekly calls, and now I got a branch with them. So proud of that one. That's going to be the #1 brokerage in the country, West Capital Lending. And that's the one that I'm branched off of, and that this Mastering the Mortgage World stuff worked for.
So if you're listening to this show and you want to get into the mortgage space, you deal with greenies as well?
With who?
Greenies.
What's greenies?
Green. They're new.
Oh, yeah.
Green. You don't call them green?
Yeah, no, we deal with greenies.
Dude, I call them green peas. You've never heard the word green peas?
No, I call them fresh blood.
Yeah, they're green, bro. They're not ripe yet. They don't know anything. They're green because, dude, my whole mission in life is literally to get the knowledge from the people who have it to the people who need it. I keep saying that. People are like, I've heard that a million times. Well, I know, but you don't get it. The reason why is because I want to live in a world that's more successful. That's my own selfishness. In order for me to be more successful in a more successful environment, it's not about me. I'm already successful. I need everybody else to find success in order for me to live in a world that's more successful, right? Yeah. So I have to make sure that these people know how to win. And I'm walking around, dude. There's people that are broke. There's people that don't have $5,000 in the bank. There's people that are in situations they don't know how to get out of. And it's just knowledge. And that's why I expose people like you. Why? Well, because, dude, there's people listening right now with a shovel in their hand every day, but breaking their back. They got 3 kids with freaking last year's clothes on. And, dude, if they were willing to take action, you've got the knowledge where they can start making 20, 30 grand a month.
They could. And
it's not that difficult. Now, will everybody do it? Will everybody do it? No, of course not. If everyone did it, would they all win? Of course not, because it's not just the knowledge, dude. It's the knowledge and then the action that they take. But the mortgage business, I've never been in, nor did I even realize you can make money.
You can make a lot of money.
I know, but I didn't even realize that. It's like I started in the car business like a youngster and then stayed with it for quite a bit. I sold art, I sold RVs, but I really never got into loans or real estate. Had I learned loans or real estate, I would have freaking crushed it. Had I learned financial services industry, like I didn't realize life insurance, annuities pays like it pays. There were so many different industries that I didn't understand. I would have made a lot of money in those.
Yeah. And it's funny because if somebody wants to get into it, number one, the story I just shared should inspire you about this kid that's #1 at my shop that's never done mortgages in his life. It's about work ethic. You see, I was recruiting people with mortgage experience. And now because of this story, I'm like, maybe I don't recruit these washed up old dogs that been doing this for 10 years because they don't got the drive in them anymore. So I'd say the #1 thing to be successful is having the drive like that kid to sit 90 days without getting paid and just watch and shadow. That hunger, I feel like a lot of people are missing. So if you have that hunger and you're going to put your all into it, you got a strong purpose. You don't get down on yourself half the time. And you're, driven and focused and outwork anybody, you could be successful at anything, but especially this.
Well, that's true. But if I'm listening to this episode, I'm going to be reaching out like, dude, is there an opportunity, first of all, to come work with you? And the answer, folks, as we were talking earlier, yes, it is. You might have to train, but get in the position to receive commission. And then obviously, why are you closing more mortgages or loans? Because you're a better closer or because you got better plans?
Oh man, the culture. Like we have a virtual setup.
But it's all the same, isn't it? Like you get called from one mortgage broker.
No.
It's the same as another one.
No, why do you think I consult all these mortgage companies? Because they don't have any culture, man. They don't.
No, not at the business level. I'm talking about a consumer level.
Oh,
like
level.
The bomb squad need loans. Why not go to my man Ace? Well, why go to you? Why you? Aren't they all the same?
No, they're not all the same. So there's a lot of companies that, they have padding on the rate sheet, meaning they're selling you rates with padding on it, so they make extra money off of it. We have raw rate sheets straight from Rocket Mortgage, which is one of the top price. Also, we do non-QM loans. Like that space is huge. I have no income loans. You don't have no income? No problem. I have bank statement loans. Your tax returns suck? Give me your bank statements for 12 months. I have P&L loans. Your tax returns and your bank statements suck? Give me your profit and loss for the year. Reverse mortgages. You're over the age of 62. How would you like to never have a payment again? And
how do you do that?
A reverse mortgage. You just reverse the equity. So instead of them making a payment, you eat up at their equity with the payments, and then they have no payment and they get a lump sum of cash a lot of times. Construction loans, business loans, commercial loans. So we do it all. We're the warehouse lending. So we don't stop for anybody. When I was working 8 years at Rocket Mortgage, I couldn't do any of the other deals. I could just do the plain simple deals, the standard deals. Now, when I started consulting and opening up all these, other avenues, I seen like, hey, there's a lot of money in the non-QM space, which is a non-qualified mortgage, to do mortgages for people with lower credit scores, with no income, foreign income.
What if you have killer credit?
If you have killer credit, you just go on a standard mortgage, a conventional loan.
What if you want zero down?
You can still get zero down with killer credit. It's a conventional loan as well.
So if I went and applied for a mortgage and I made $40,000 a month and I have killer credit, but I don't have any money down, they would sell me a house.
So are you a first-time home buyer? If you're a first-time home buyer, for sure. If not, there are down payment assistance programs with that level of income that could help you out. Also, your realtor, if you got a good realtor or real estate agent, could have a smart contract set up where there's seller concessions and they cover up your costs. And you can work with somebody like me that gives you a free loan with no cost, and we could get it as close to free as possible. So there's creative ways to structure it where you're only
you definitely want to get with, someone who's a hustler.
Yeah.
I feel like if I was going to get a loan from you, you know your programs and you'll figure it out.
Yeah. So at Takers Brokerage, we talk about advising over selling. I tell my guys, do not be an order taker, right? Or a telly at the bank. That's not what we need over here. Don't tell your client, what would you like today? 15-year, 30-year, how much cash? Pull up their fucking credit. That's the x-ray of their life. Look at the credit report. I'll tell you exactly what you need by looking at your credit. Figure out what they have in assets, figure out their dreams, and customize a solution and surprise them. So at my shop, they're not allowed to ask, what are you trying to get accomplished? They have to dig deep, figure out their life, and customize a solution. And for salespeople listening, that's very important. Whatever you sell, that's how you should be selling. Not saying, what would you like today? Not saying what kind of watch you want today. Why'd you come in for the watch? And why is that important to you? And how long haven't you had a watch in? And what's the first place you'd wear this watch if you got it? And then come in with a surprise element at the end. It's like, one of the strong things I tell people, like, let's say me and you sold vacuums, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are you selling, Brad? If we sold automatic vacuums, what are you selling? How are you selling me an automatic vacuum?
By vacuuming your house?
No.
How?
You're selling me time, dude.
Why?
What time do I get back in my life by using your automatic vacuum? What's more important to Martha? Hey, Martha, you want an automatic vacuum that just rolls around and vacuums your house? It's going to be so clean. Or, hey, Martha, if you had an extra 2 hours every single day, what would you do with those 2 hours? Oh, I'd feel alive again. I'd start watching Netflix. I'd go to the gym. I'd look better for my husband. Now you're selling emotions and a dream. Like, what if I could get you 2 hours back in your day? You know what? I have this automatic vacuum. What if you don't have to vacuum anymore? So it's like you're selling time, not an automatic vacuum.
Selling the result.
Yeah. I mean, what's more valuable, time or automatic vacuum with a clean house?
Time.
What's more important, a mortgage or your dream?
Dream.
So people that are selling
Keep
something.
going. I don't think they get it.
They don't get it yet. What's more important?
What's more important, your life or your dog food?
What's more important, signing up for training or being financially free?
Financially free.
Okay.
But the signing up for training could also be a scam.
It's a scam if you have the person that's teaching it that's like, back in my day, here's how I used to sell. A lot of mortgage leaders and leaders in general are scared to get on the phones. I break headsets, dude. I take 10 headsets a day. I close half of the deals every single day in my company.
Yeah, but you do it for fun almost. It's like a challenge, because I've seen your videos where like you want someone that can't close a deal to hand you the customer, and then you get on there, take control, paint the picture, close them down. I have one on YouTube called The Impossible Close. Did you ever watch it?
No.
It's this, I spent like an hour and a half closing this deal when, normally I wouldn't have done that, but I was on video, and my guy was saying they're not buying no matter what. Yeah. I wanted to prove that yes, they will if you close them.
Yeah.
So somewhere between taking an hour and a half when it was, probably just as easy to wait till follow up a week later. And a lot of people think, why wouldn't you just wait till Monday? Because time kills deals.
Yeah. And it keeps you relevant. And now your guys know, like, yeah, Brad closes deals, instead of them saying like, yeah, Brad, this guy will never get on the phone. He won't close. Like, he expects us to do this, but he doesn't. Like, no, as a leader, you got to get your hands dirty. You got to get in the mud for your people. So I do it, number one, to stay relevant. How am I going to train you if I'm not selling? You're dealing with a coach that's selling and closing every single day. As a matter of fact, on my live calls, I say, give me your client right now, and I'll call him on speaker. I don't give a fuck what it is. So I'm always selling. And number two, you get buy-in, because they got a fearless leader. They're going to follow them. And a lot of leaders are like, they stay in their office. They got tinted windows. It's a new thing now. There's tinted windows in offices. Like, you're tinting your window. You're like, dude, you didn't want to see your people, and it's like, you want to see your people. My desk half the time, and I got a beautiful office. And I'm sitting on the floor. I'm sitting in the middle of the floor, in the middle of the action. I'm selling on a speaker, and I got a mic like this. People get annoyed. I'm like, just shut up and listen. You're going to hear something that you could take in. We don't play music. We play call clips all day. So there's live calls playing, so I could always hear what's going on, right? So it's like all these small things. Anyone that's virtual is on the screen with a mic on, hot mic, and a speaker. So all my virtual people are on the TV on the wall. And that's how we're building a virtual channel as well. So nobody's doing it like that, And I told you, as a consultant, I'm like, perfect. I could model all the things that I teach and preach inside of my own business. So why not do it? And that's why the brokerage came into fruition.
How's it doing?
It's doing great, man. We closed over 100 deals, in 1 month with like 15 people, and half of them are part-time.
Is that good though? I don't know what the industry standard is.
Yeah. I mean, if you're averaging over 2 or 3 a person, that's good right now. Right.
So why that business? Why not, another kind of business?
Well, that business made sense because I was launching this mortgage, mastering the mortgage world, virtual training. So I wanted to prove the concept again. It's like, hey, like, this is what I'm training my own company with. Like, so now I'm doing it myself, and I did 105 closings myself in 5 months, part-time last year. So I did it myself. Now my branch is doing it, and I'm training the number one company in the country to do it. Like, what the fuck do you have to say now? Why wouldn't you join this? And why wouldn't you get this?
Yeah. Well, again, because people are skeptical, man. For some reason, the skepticism is everywhere.
And join for free. We just made a free community.
So, dude, how old are you?
35.
You're young, but you got some gray hairs popping up.
I got a lot of grays.
I know, but you got almost more than me, and I'm 56. So, out of curiosity, your beard's not quite as gray as mine, but I see it in your hair.
Yeah. And the gel covers up most of them too.
Why do you think you're turning gray? Is that genetics, or is it because you stress every day? Do you stress?
I've had stressful times. Yeah.
Why?
Not every day.
But why? What are you stressing about?
I mean, I had twins, opened up a brokerage at the same exact time, and did a mortgage course, which my wife thinks I'm crazy. I did all 3 at the same time. I had twins, opened up a brand new business in a building, and then made a new course at the same time.
But at 35, dude, even though you might think you're old, you're just beginning.
Yeah, I don't think I'm old at all.
A lot of people, when I was 21, dude, thought I knew everything. I thought 35, that's a full grown old ass man.
Yeah.
40, oh shit, dude, you're over the hill. Nowadays, you're not even 40 yet. Like, in other words, from 40 to 50 is your, I say, key window to get rich.
Yeah.
How'd you figure out how to start making money before that? Was it always just hustle?
So I think it comes from 2 places. It's pleasure or pain, having a tougher childhood seeing my parents work hard, come here not knowing English, and then that drove me to work very hard, not having everything I wanted. So I think there was always pain in the back. Like, I don't want to go back to that. Don't want my kids to have that. I want my family to be, free. Then you run towards pleasure, which is, financial freedom, being able to get in a plane. I come to this office right here, one of my favorite offices I've ever seen, this HQ. Like, I want a HQ like this. Like, that's in the forefront of my mind. I also don't want to be broke and don't want to struggle and don't want to worry about money. So that's always in the top of my mind. And you got to keep that in the forefront of your mind. So I think that was a gateway, is purpose and drive. But people say they have purpose and drive, and then they come in and they're like, fuck this client. It was a shitty call. And then they walk out early, and then it's like, you don't have purpose or drive, dude. Like, you come out here and, like, I look at your eyes, you don't got purpose and drive. Like, when somebody has purpose and drive, you look in their eyes, you're like, that's a fucking killer right there.
How do you train that?
How do you train that? Like, look, you could, spark a flame, but you can't light the fire under somebody's ass. They got to fucking wake up in the morning and know what they want and get to it and then act on what they want. Meaning, if what you want is up here, then all the bullshit should be down here. But if your life, all the bullshit is up here, and what you want is down here, then. Like, if you're letting all the small shit phase you, then your why and your purpose doesn't weigh that much. So put it on a weight scale. What are your actions and your behavior every single day? And then how much are you driving towards your why and your purpose?
So fitness is an example.
Yeah.
If you're a fat dude, you obviously don't want it very bad, because it is not that difficult to get in shape. Like, how to get in shape. It's mentally, I think, tougher than physical.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I've went 3 weeks procrastinating. Oh, I'm going to start the gym again. Yeah. And 3 weeks go by and you realize, dude, that was 3 weeks. If I'd have just started 3 weeks ago, I'd be looking good by now.
Yeah.
But then 3 more weeks go by. Why do you think people keep pushing off the inevitable? Or what you just said is because they really don't want to be in shape. They just claim to.
Well, they want the fast food and everything else more than they want to be in shape. They want the comfort more. So it's not that important to them. I'll ask you, because last time I came and did a Dropping Bombs episode, you probably had extra 30, 40 pounds on you. And
it wasn't 30, 40. It wasn't that much.
Sorry. What changed for you, though? Because this is the best I've seen you look.
Well, then you should have been here a month ago. Because I looked.
Well, I seen the video with Andy Elliott with the abs.
Yeah. I mean, I still got probably, in other words, I've been a little bit better, but I've been slammed under pressure, multiple businesses crashing at the same time, where I got to go fricking grab the controls and set it back up again.
Yeah.
So, like, sometimes I'm like, I don't care about working out, because I don't really. I don't care if I'm,
it makes you feel good.
Killer.
Yeah. But
obviously I would rather be. But sometimes, dude, I fall victim to the same thing everybody else does. It's just I wake up eventually. Yeah. Like, my pants start getting too tight. Yeah. It's like, wait a minute, dude, these are 34s.
Yeah.
If I got to move to 36s, you procrastinated long enough.
Yeah.
So people listening, though, because I was driving you to a point where, like, you either really do want it,
yeah,
or you don't. Yeah. And if you don't, but you think you do, you claim you do, but you don't, your actions don't align. That's why you feel the way you feel. That's why there's something missing, because you're not becoming the person you need to become in order to get what it is you want. See, success doesn't wait for the individual. Success waits for the individual to become the person success arrives for.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes
so. Like,
sense.
you're just waiting to become the person for the success to arrive. Yeah, a lot of people can't figure out why it never arrives, because they never become the person that it arrives for.
Which is the meaning of being a taker. You take it by the fucking horns and you get it. You don't wait for it to arrive. So that's exactly what being a taker means to me.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like that name, but hey, taker, to me, it's like, are you a giver or a taker?
Yeah,
well, I'm a taker. Well, I don't want to be a taker.
Rocket had a problem with it too, because that was my team name at Rocket. And the guy's like, "What, you guys taking from the clients?"
Exactly. It just sounds like, taker. You can make it sound good. Oh, it's taking advantage of the day. But taker's mortgage, it's almost like, I don't know if I want to do business with those people.
Yeah, we don't advertise to the clients as takers. It's more for recruiting.
Why don't you do givers?
No, we do West Capital lending to the client, because that's the number one brokerage that we train and we're branched off of. It's a recruiting. Taker is a recruiting tactic.
Why takers? Just like, why the Z in your name?
It's like killers, man. Takers, just a recruiting tactic. It's not for clients.
Takers sounds thuggish.
Does it?
It does to me. Like takers, like, bitch, we walk in and just take that shit.
We use the Las Vegas logo too with the switch in the face, the mask, the Raiders logo. That's our logo.
Switching two-faced?
Switching the face, meaning you're a chameleon on the phone. Every single client you talk to, you become that person that the client needs you to be.
Do you teach that?
I teach that in sales. Be your client's therapist.
I wish
Sales
I could
is
hear
therapy.
you on the phones more often. We'll see how she works.
I got call clips right now. I'll pull them up for you live.
What about all these other trainers that are out there training sales? Are any of them foolish or any of them full of shit?
Some of the other trainers out there, like who?
I don't know. Name some. Like what sales trainers are out in the world today? Grant Cardone, Andy Elliott, Jeremy Minor.
Yeah, I made a video about Andy Elliott. That was a negative video about him.
What was it about?
It was that there was a clip going on, and one of his guys is like, yeah, you could see Andy Elliott, dude, 25,000 or something. Then he's like, I could see Andy Elliott. He's like, yeah, you could, like dab him on the back, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck, you guys training your salespeople? Like, the guy's not God, number one. I don't give a fuck if I could see him in the flesh.
Yeah, but why are you mad that someone wants to pay 25 grand just to be able to?
He didn't want to pay
Andy?
25 grand. He was saying like, is that all I'm getting? Like, are you fucking serious? Kind of.
So the guy didn't make the deal?
No, and then his guys, well, he has an army, by the way, and I respect what he's doing, because his guys reach out to me right away. They're like, hey, dude, we seen that, we're getting on that guy, we're talking to him. So like, he had a bunch of people DM me for him. His army came out, which was cool. And I'm like, yo, dude, call me. I'll tell you guys how to do game film reviews and how to play call clips and, help you guys with the structure. He's like, yeah, I'm going to get the information over to Andy. But I never heard anything back. But then another guy called me one time and he's like, hey, man, Andy loves your stuff, man. I'm going to FaceTime you with Andy. And I was going to the Patrick Bet-David seminar. He's like, Andy's going to see you there, man. Make sure you say what up to him. And I was walking by and Andy didn't fucking know me. So I'm just like to that dude, I'm like, dude, why the fuck you telling me that Andy knows me and he wants to see me? Like, why do you guys sell this way? So they're selling like they're praying down to Andy, and it's like, it's not the way to sell. The guy's good at sales. He's fit. He's determined. He's selling a lifestyle. Sell that to people.
Would you be able to work for him?
Not with my beer gut right now. I'd probably have to get an 8-pack for that guy.
That's what he says.
Yeah.
When you say beer gut, why do you have a beer gut?
I mean, I don't got abs.
Why?
I work out. I just eat what I want. I don't want it bad enough right now.
What do you eat?
Arabic food, right? The rice, the meat, the chicken.
Kufta?
The kefta, the kusa.
Oh, is it kefta?
Yeah.
What about olas?
Olas? Old ass?
No, olas.
The fuck is olas?
Well, fucking ask a Arab person. I don't know.
How does it look?
Well, I don't know, but my wife's brother would always say we're going to my mom's house to eat olas, and I'm like, that could be a funny joke. Just like think in Arabic is fakkar.
Fakkar, yeah.
Fakkar. How do you say it?
Fakkar.
Yeah. So when I first met him, he asked me right away, like, when are you going to marry my daughter? And I said, let me fakkar. I have to fakkar first.
Yeah. That's
just
a good one.
Slow down. Let me go fucker.
Yeah. Let me go fucker. Yeah, that's fucked.
I gotta go fucker.
I never heard that one before.
And then, and I guess that means think. So I actually said that. Let me think.
Yeah.
But I said, let me go fucker. And everybody's like, that didn't speak Arabic was like laughing because I'm saying what I said.
Yeah.
And then the other one was come to my mom's house and eat. You were going to love her olas or olas.
Yeah.
It's like a dish.
Olas.
Arabic food. Yes, I've eaten it, dude. My wife was from Egypt. And her mom was awesome. And she always made Arabic food. I like Arabic food. I like Arab culture.
Mm-hmm.
They're all, again, in my mind, good, solid, God-fearing people.
Yeah.
A little bit aggressive when it comes to negotiations.
Yeah.
But hey, that's just, Israelis beat the Arabs all day long in that regard.
I don't think so.
Oh, dude. Go to those kiosks, bro. Lotion's like $900 a tube and you buy it. And it's like, what kind of idiot buys lotion for $900?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Dude, it's got the Dead Sea Scrolls sand in it, you know?
Yeah.
But anyway, what's your goals, Ace? How does the Bomb Squad help you?
I mean, for the Bomb Squad, if you want to make money and get a new career, Type in Takers Brokerage in Google. You'll find us. You could apply right there. Hit me up on Instagram. Let me know you applied. You watched Bomb Squad. I'll make sure that you get a phone call. We'll help you get started. If you're at a mortgage company already and you're listening, or you're a realtor and you sell real estate, make sure you buy the Mastering the Mortgage Realtor course. There's stuff in there for realtors and for brokers or mortgage bankers. And if you're a leader and have a company and you want a white labeled custom VT system and leadership training and culture training, go to acezacademy.com. We have leadership stuff for you as well. And we'll turn your company into a top company. And if you just want sales training, we have sales training for you. So we specialize in sales, leadership, mortgages, and private company consulting. So if you're interested in any of that from the Bomb Squad, please reach out and we'll guarantee you results, man. Our companies are making triple and quadruple the investment of what they're paying me to turn their companies around. And, you know, being with Fortune 500 companies like Rocket Mortgage, $1 billion company for 8 years, I know how to master a good culture.
Yeah, and go watch his videos on YouTube. Acez Academy, that's ACEZ. ACEZ. But dude, if you watch his videos, you realize like this dude is a character, but he definitely can close deals and knows how to train. And your leadership content's solid. Yeah. So like, dude, I see you growing up and blowing up even more than you're already doing.
Yes, sir.
35 years old, dude. You're just a young pup.
Yeah. What's
your goal in the next 5 years?
My goal is to have venues of sales and leaders, you know, do camps, you know, sales camps.
What makes you passionate about that?
What it did for me in my life, I want to give that to other people. I want to impact other people and let them change their lives and their families' lives through sales, leadership, and culture.
Yeah. The number one.
I know I was a street hustler. So I know going from the streets in a van to filling up accessories at gas stations for 10 years, sweating, vans breaking down. I know what it's like to work hard. And I also know what it's like to unlock the formula to reach, you know, your highest capabilities when it comes to finances. Like I never knew about mortgages. I thought mortgages like were a Ponzi scheme. I didn't know you could make money off mortgages until I had a friend that showed me 3 checks in a row and I sold my business and went over. I'm like, damn, mortgages changed my life like that. So a lot of people don't know these things.
I didn't know.
Yeah, they're scared to jump into new things.
And not only that, like people are buying houses every day. It's not like nobody wants a loan. Like, dude, everybody wants a loan. You just got to be good enough to build the relationship and know your product.
Yeah, and sell what your product or service does for somebody after the fact, and don't sell your product or service and the benefits of your product or service. Sell the benefits of their life.
That's right. Well, folks, you guys know where to follow them. I appreciate you coming in. We're going to have you back. When's this thing drop?
July 7th, 7/7.
Yeah, this will probably be dropped after that. So, guys, it's already dropped. Worst case scenario, hit him in the DM. You can find him on Instagram at the Acez Academy. Remember, the S is a Z, ACEZ. Till next time, keep it real.